Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, for your Sunday cast, it's going to be a look at Zest versus Dark from TSL 7. It's going to be on Beckett Industries. Bottom left, Blue Zerg player Dark. And in the top right, we have Zest, the red Protoss player. Woof! That was a weird hiccup. I think I'll leave it in. Alright, so Probe, gonna go ahead and block the natural hatch, as Protoss like to do. Man, TSL 7, a lot of upsets. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but wow. I did not expect players who got through the group stages to get through the group stages, and other players that I expected to get through did not get through. So, expectations for sports are rarely, if ever, shown to be correct. That's why we watch, right? Because of the unexpectedness. Is that... Oh, it's a pool first here from Dark. Man, I just assumed it was going to be a hatch first. Are you going to throw down a proxy hatch? Casual attempt at a proxy hatch. Oh, the juke! That probe was going to try to block the hatch here. But instead, Dark acted like he was going into the main, juked back around, and threw down the proxy hatch. Okay, this is starting off with a proxy hatch with 6 lings heading across the map. We are chrono boosting a zealot. We are getting a cyber core. We're blocking off with a forge and another gateway. We do want to get a cannon up as soon as possible. We want this zealot over here hacking away at the hatchery. We really don't want that to finish at all. Is this hard walled? Can this probe get... Oh, he's got to come back to block it off. Gotta come back to block it off. Yeah, the probes are here. They're ready to... Wow, so they can't actually focus on taking down the hatch and covering their front door at the same time. This is brutal out of Dark. I like this play a lot. Is he gonna get this gateway? He might get this gateway. Oh, the dancing by both players is really good. Second zealot pops out. Lings are like, okay. This is a ton of lost mining for these probes. Look at this. Chop, 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 chop. He really wants the hatch. Like, Dark wants it, but he doesn't want to lose any lings either. He's double expanding. Double expanding. He's got a natural coming behind it. This, again, feels like it's a second expansion. Is there enough time to get a queen out? Probably not. He's trying, though. He's definitely trying to get a queen out here. Now there's an adept, and now the lings can't chomp away at this without taking damage, and they're going to die. So, okay. I don't... yeah, there's really no way... I don't know. These lings are popping, and they're kind of trying to hide a little bit. Maybe get in there for a scout. Yeah, this queen is not coming whatsoever. Yeah, not going to finish. Lings are fighting, but also dead, so that's not good. And the hatch dies. Some broodlings and lings come out, and nothing for Protoss has died yet. So I'm going to say that Zest is in a pretty fantastic position. He's doing all right, man. Like, sure, he's on 1 base, but guess what? Dark's on 2, and that's fine. And we got adepts moving out. There's 3 of them. Dark doesn't want to make any units to deal with those. He doesn't have speed, nor is he anywhere near having speed because he has no gas taken yet. 3 adepts versus like 6 slow lings. Okay, that's more than 6. That is actually 13. So 13 slow lings, a little scarier, especially if they're focusing down the wounded adept here rather than... Oh, her more healthy sisters, but oh, 2 more. Dude, this is crazy. 2 more zealots and 2 zealots and 3 adepts. Ooh, this is good. This is really good. Like, the queens are going to be extremely useful here. Yeah, okay. So 3 queens plus the lings on the threat of backup enough to do this. Droning up pretty hard is Dark. Zest Natural is coming up quite nicely back home. We are working on a robotics facility and a Twilight Council. And Dark got a 3rd base up. I feel like if these zealots and adepts could do some work. Zealot down, and oh, queen down. So queen for zealot there. Pretty good trade, I'd say, for both players. If they just were hammering away at this hatchery, instead of trying to kill these queens, I think they might have actually forced a cancel out there. But, I mean, he knows about this now. Oh, he doesn't know about this. Okay, all right. Well, that's unfortunate. I cannot believe he didn't just poke his head a little bit further this way and see if there's a 3rd base they could harass, because that's incredibly good for Dark. Wow. Roachhorn coming up. Spore Crawler here too. because we are defo going for Resonating Glaives Adepts. Korean announcer there. We are definitely going for Resonating Glaive Adepts here. Having a Roach Horn is really nice. You can hold this with a bunch of Speedlings and Queens, but generally Roaches are a really cost-efficient way to go. You don't have to lose too many Roaches if you position quite effectively. There's a Dark Shrine on the way too. It says one behind Dark Shrine. He still doesn't know about this. So he's going to come over and check it. But it's too late, man. It is... Oh, there's creep up here. And there's a base. Crap. There's a third base. That means it was coming up a while ago. Sure does. Sure does mean that. We got Queens in production to add to the group of 4 that we have right now. The War Prism dying means the end of this harassment. For sure. But we've got 4 Roaches in production. 10 Zerglings coming in. The Speedling upgrade is just not going to happen anytime soon. I don't really need it. Like, again, if you're going to get a surround on these Adepts, you're hitting them as hard as if you had speed anyway. And chasing them isn't that difficult on creep. Like, the Speedlings aren't super fast, but they're okay with it. So let's see what Zest does. We've seen some other Protoss players show up, and as Zerg players are ready for this, and then they just go home with their Adepts. And they use their Adepts for other stuff instead of just losing them all. If you're finished... Okay, that's a finished transfer. So, no, that is not what Zest went for. He decided to use his Adepts for the damage here. Lost a couple of them. Gonna lose another one here. Oh, wow, okay. So we're just absolutely dying. These Adepts are not meant to go home. There's no intention for that happening whatsoever. Gonna kill a few drones, which is nice. And yeah, getting into the main base is just further... insistence. These Adepts are not interested in going anywhere. Oh, then you warp in the DTs. Oh, this is so good. There's not a lair. Oh, DTs are going to be amazing. Okay, so Zest is doing some good work here. I think I was worried up until recently that he had just lost a ton of his Adepts for nothing. But 13 drones killed, a ton of Zerglings have gone down, a couple of Roaches have been killed here too. And the DTs able to get into that third base has been pretty fantastic. Oh, the DTs, the transfuse, and the circle of life on that spore, keeping the detection here. That was really clutch out of dark. That was insanely clutch out of dark. That was awesome. Awesome possum. Alright, so Adepts decided to go back home. Zest really sunk a lot into that attack and got a bunch of kills. That's 18 drones killed. It is 27 workers for dark right now. But by golly, is he ever doing his best at redroning? He is already to 30. He's got 3 bases. So he's got a ton of available larvae. He's got a bunch of queens for the injects as necessary. And a bunch of overlords too. He's got 90 total supply. And that is a 3rd base from Zest. So this has been a really nice back and forth Sunday game for us. Hit that like button if you've enjoyed this. Leave a comment just for the algorithm. If you have any thoughts about this game, maybe when it's over. Like, here's the thing. I remember, I don't know, when I used to watch casts like this from people like, Husky and HD and whatnot, and I'd get mad when my favorite race when Zerg lost, right? And I imagine a lot of you are the same way, right? If your favorite race loses, then you're not too happy about the results, and maybe you don't want to leave a comment, or maybe you do want to leave an angry comment or something, but, I don't know. I've tried to have a better perspective on the games as this. We're attempting this Archon harass. It's not doing a whole lot, to where if the game is good, then I just enjoy it regardless of the outcome. But I understand a lot of people do not think that way, so sometimes focuses can be different at different parts and different stages of one's experiences in life. So yeah, 3rd base up. Archon's defending. See, a lot of these Adepts from that early attack are here. They're bruised. They've got kill counts. It's a 9 and a 10 kill Adept. 9 kill Adept. Wow, 9, 6, 9, and 10 on those Adepts. Beautiful stuff, really, out of them. Just really cost efficient. 100%. Resonating Glaive Adepts. Pretty good unit in the first 10 minutes of a PvZ for sure. Got ourselves an Evolution Chamber coming in from Dark. He's back. He's at 62 workers now. Like, his droning... All the elite Zerg players have the ability to take a massive hit to their economy and then just... It's back, man. All of a sudden, it's back. There's some free Roaches that are being donated by Dark, though, so that's not good. But its economy is up, and now he can afford to pump 10 Roaches at a time, turn a bunch of them into Ravagers. If he didn't have this income, see, as it's creeping down into his side on this income advantage graph, then he'd be dead. That's it. The follow-up here from Zest would be too much. He wouldn't have the production available to stop it. And that would be all. So again, the ability to macro up super hard at the times when you are free to do so as a Zerg is really what allows you to get further into this game and up the ladder. If you're just guessing, if you're guessing when it's safe to drone, you're going to drone at the wrong time, you're going to die. That's it. That's all there is to it. Whether you droned too early or too late, doesn't matter. It's the wrong time nevertheless, and you're dead. Big old Zealot Archon attack. Oh, spawning pool getting sniped by the combination of these two units. Not bad. Roach is doing all right in defense of the homeland. The push up this way is... Oh, this is just too much Zerg, man. Like, it's just too much. The Queen's in support, throwing down transfuses and whatnot. We're turning some of our wounded Roaches into Ravagers, which is great. This is still happening. The Roach Warren and the spawning pool die. Remember when I was like, the Roaches are doing kind of okay here in their base defense? No. No, they are not. The Lair's gonna go down too. Oh, this is brutal. And these 3 Archons just going to town against a handful of Queens. Some Ravagers shoving them away. Dude. Zest. Did Zest just win this game? I don't want to call it, I don't want to caster curse this thing, but Dark just lost his spawning pool, his Roach Warren, and his Lair. And like 10 or 12 more drones during that attack. That was insane. That was intended from Zest to destroy Dark, 100%. It didn't, which is good for Dark fans and maybe frustrating for Zest fans. But you get enough damage done here, and suddenly the income tab starts to swing back up into the red side of things, yes? Yes, absolutely. We've got a Templar Archives on the way. Let's get some of that storm against these Roaches and these Ravagers, which seems to be the attack of choice for Dark. At least, I don't know. Technically, he can't make Roaches anymore because his Roach Warren is dead. He did replace the spawning pool, which is great. And the Roach Warren just got restarted, so we are going to see some eventually. But he's upgrading to a Lair here at the natural at the same time. He's getting +1 in missile attack, but the upgrades are +1 attack already for Zest, and he's not working on +2, which I find a little bit interesting. A little tiny bit interesting, to be honest with ya. Mortals out from Zest. And everything, I don't know. Like, Dark's up. He's got a bigger army. He's got more workers. He's only on 3 bases, though, and he really needs to be on 4 if he's going to win this match. And Zest is doing... I mean, it's no Disruptors. It's no Colossus. It's no High Templar. It's none of this stuff. I guess the Archons are your splash damage here, but traditionally they're not super great against giant Roach Ravager armies. So, I don't know if Zest is maybe sticking on tech that's not going to work for him in the long run. Or if it's going to work out, just because he has so much of it. Yeah, the charge lot's pretty scary stuff. Just simple immortal drop down here. Drones actually have to fight because Roaches and Queens kind of suck against immortals. All things considered, Zest has decided to just kind of go for it here. Dark kiting as well as he can, pretending he's the Terran in this situation. And then he does shove at Zest back. The Immortal's going to take care of Dark's 4th. This pressure out of Zest has been insanely good. The cancel on the 4th base, that is... We're going to put that under the column of bad things for Dark in this game, is getting that 4th base canceled. And these Immortals, though, they're being functionally immortal. They take down an Extractor in the main base. It's not a huge get. It's a get nevertheless. Oh, Zest taking a 4th base with all this, and really, it is just gateway stuff. I mean, I know these Immortals are running around, but the main composition is Zealot, Stalker, Archon, Sentry. I know Archons aren't technically gateway units. They come out of gateways. They have to have a Templar Archives for them to exist. So they're tier 3 units technically. But I don't know. I've never seen this particular composition do super well against Zerg into the 15, 16, 20-minute mark of a match. Seems like Zerg starts getting up things like Lurkers, the Hydra start to come out, which really trade pretty stupid well against Archons for sure. Little pokes and prods and free Roach there, and Dark's lost 9,000 resources, and Zest has lost 6,400. Hundo, where do you take a 4th if you're Dark? You're kind of stuck, right? This base not going to work for you. There's an army roaming around there. This isn't going to work for you until you spread the creep down this way. Oh, Warp Prism! Oh, just not paying attention for about 2.5 seconds, and the Warp Prism with 2 Immortals dies in it. That's humongous for Dark. The swings in this game, the back and forths in this game, they are amazing right now. Dark's maxed out on Roach Ravager Hydra. There is no storm for Zest. Nothing of the like here. He's not researching storm. He's trying to win this thing with a handful of charge lots, a ton of Archons, and some Stalkers. It's just not going to work. This composition is not good against Roach Ravager Hydra. It's just not, right? +1 attack done, +1 armor finish up from Zest. So having an upgrade advantage on that way is nice. Good blinks. Again, just, you know, you do a lot of damage to roaches, killing a bunch, and then while you're retreating, calling it good here. But, I mean, this is basically, Dark's like, you don't have storm. We would have seen some by now. What is going on? Oh, it's bad pathing, I guess. That's a lot of dead Stalkers, man. Okay, a bunch of Stalkers die there. No, this is, okay, finally going for a robotics bay. Here is Zest, which is going to provide the ability to get Disruptors amazing against this composition, or Colossus, which are pretty good against this composition. Basically, both Colossus and Disruptors are better against Roach Ravager Hydra than this whole weird Stalker Zealot Archon thing is. I'm tossing it out there. I'm letting you know what's going on here. Hydra speed's finally on the way. Yeah, and just look how much Zest has to retreat from this position. He doesn't like it. He doesn't want to fight against this many Hydralisks, especially the Immortals and the Archons. Dude, Dark is pushing hard. No splash except for Archons is such a major problem here. Dark wants to finish what he started and kill this Warp Gate. It's not going to happen now. But see, it allows Dark to get a 4th base up and rolling, allows him to work on Carapace upgrades. His +2 missile attack is done. APM spiking into the 400s and 500s for both of these players. And finally, Disruptors getting unveiled here from Zest, which is going to be nice. It's going to be nice to have those. Blink, snipe, blink, snipe, blink, snipe. Good blink stuff here. Zest's 4th base is naked and undefended except for the army that is Sharkin in the general neighborhood. Finally, a Lurker Den's getting started. I mean, look, as good as this composition is for Dark, you can't go 20 minutes on it against a good Protoss. Look at them just standing in. The Blink Stalkers blinked into this. War Prism gets focused down, Disruptor down, Zealot's Warping getting killed. Is this actually just enough Stalkers to do this? They did take down that Warp Gate that has been the plan the whole time. Wow. Dude, this Zest absolutely just jumped on that in a situation I didn't think he could win it, and won it. He's got +2 attack and +1 armor. So the upgrade advantage is nice here. And just the Stalkers with their amazing mobility and just the range and the damage they do to just everything. Stalker, good unit. Good unit. Sometimes they look really bad, but sometimes they look amazing, like right there. So another War Prism coming in because Dark sniped the last one as soon as it showed up on premises for obvious reasons. Infestation Pit on the way. Zealots in your 3rd. Oh my gosh, that hatch gonna die. That hatch is gonna die. 3 Hydras is not enough to stop this from happening. And they just get out. See ya! Wouldn't want to be ya. Oh. Now I feel like Zest is gonna win this game. He's killed so many bases today. Okay, he's denied the 4th a few times and he's killed the 3rd once. So that's what we're looking at. Do these charge lots are like, it's only 3 Hydras chasing us? Embarrassing. Get back on your old creep. Hydras. That's what they got to do. So the Disruptors are in the mix now. Again, big game-changing stuff, Disruptors. Especially if you're dealing with Lurkers. Oh, the sneaky stop position. Ah, they're doing the thing. Oh my gosh, that was huge. Oh, that was humongous. Okay, that was sick. We have not seen that in a StarCraft 2 cast in some time. Or in a Brood War cast. That is an ancient technique, handed down from generation to generation of Zerg. You take your Lurkers, you force them to hold and not attack anything. And if your opponent doesn't have any detection, they'll walk on top of them, and then you unleash the spines. And they kill a lot of stuff. By that I mean, I don't know, like 10 things. Which, hey, 10 things for no losses is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. Is that War Prism speed or Observer speed? I get them confused. They're both very similar looking icons. Dark taking a 5th. He's not actually bothering to replant his 3rd, but that's where his Infestation Pit is. You need that for other things, don't you? Double expanding is Zest. Left side, right side. Okay, sure. Hive coming in. Required for the further upgrades for lurkers, for burrow speed, as well as range on the spines. And this is why you have overlords in this position, is for scouting this very thing. Zest decided to make a Stargate for the first time today. Alright, dude, this is... Oh, and the huge unload... And Zealots getting into this 5th base. And, okay, Zealots are just everywhere. Nobody likes this. Protoss hate it when it happens to them. Terran hates it when it happens to them. Zerg hates this when it happens to them. Main hatch goes down for the 2nd time today. Bunch of Zealots die for it, but you know, Zest is doing okay on the minerals right now. I can promise you that much. Viper's on the way with that infestation pit. Actually going adaptive talons before seismic spines, which is weird. Air weapons being researched. Is Zest moving into carrier transition at 20 minutes after really committing to this ground stuff today? I feel like he is. There's your seismic spines. It is a fleet beacon, and it is 2 Stargates. All right, man, I told you, sneaky, sneaky Protoss. I've said in DVPs before, they can transition into Stargates anytime they want. They can start with it. They can move into it after, 10 or 15 minutes. They can move into it after 20 or 25 minutes. You really have to be on your toes. And scouting for this, there's no scouting for this, is there? Ah, Dark hasn't poked his head in here since there was creep in this location. It's been a while, is what we're trying to say. Storm on the way, 3 carriers at a time being produced. If Dark doesn't get a Spire up soon, he's just gonna die. You cannot defeat the Skytoss army with Hydralisks and Queens. Not possible. Not after it gets to a certain critical mass. You can do it if there are 3 to 5 to 6 carriers, yes. Once we start getting up to 6, 7, 8, 9, that's when it doesn't work. The Hydras die too fast. The Queens die too fast. He's just making more lurkers and getting missile attack, man. He does not know. He is not scouting. He is not trying to figure out what the Protoss is doing at all. He doesn't technically know this base exists, and it's been here for like 10 minutes. Scouting for Dark has been bad today. I'm gonna label it as such. Dark is retaking his 3rd base. A bunch of Zealots are ready to jump on this thing as soon as they need to. The rest of the army shirking around this bottom right side where there are a bunch of lurkers split so that Storm can't hit any. There's a couple of them are not exactly split up here. Observer dies though. Oh, you lost your detection. And nice abduct on that Disruptor. Beautiful play. Abducting, sure. We'll kill a couple of your Archons for free. Got out of feedback off on one of the Vipers, but they can just, consume energy off of this hatchery. They don't really worry about that too much. Unless they have enough consuming that they murder the hatchery. Bad things like that can happen. Roaches, did they poke up here? Yeah, they did. Hey, what's that? You're having a hard time with your base under attack? There's nothing defending it? Just warp in a bunch of Zealots. We're good. Totally good, says Zest. It's a nice perk that the Protoss race has. Beautiful one. A beautiful one to be sure. Now, look. Tell me we've got a Spire. Okay, well, shoot. You see this, right? You know there's carriers. Dark is so blind. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this for Dark right now. I mean, the number of expansions Zest is taking. Still, no carrier reveal. He's got pathogen glands, so like he's trying. Go to his camera for a second. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go kill that base. We're under attack. Oh, we're fine. Okay. It's just, stalkers and all. It's the same thing Zest has been doing all game. There's no reason to try to send an overseer out and see what's going on at all, is there? He's doing a great job spreading creep as well as he can. He wants to use this backdoor attack to send some changelings up. Zest is doing a good job and not just going in there with carriers, man. He is going to put the hammer down when it's time, though. I think... Oh, no. The carriers are now visible. The question is, do you have enough to handle the number of carriers that there are? Because there are 6. You know what? The 6 is right on that line of where I feel like it's enough. Oh, this lurker is going to kill this thing, isn't it? It's sort of hilarious. Dude, Zest losing 2 straight up bases right now, and these no, hang on, maybe actually kill this. Maybe actually kill the Nexus. Okay, well, Zealot's wandering into Lurker Town. Not what they want to do at all. Okay, so Nexus down. This Lurker, against all odds, is going to kill this Nexus by himself. Zealot's run into the main, and look, Dark hasn't even bothered to replace that base, which is hilarious, dude. 2 kills on a Lurker. One of them is an entire Nexus. Zest has been just absolutely bopped right now. I mean, Dark's not incredibly healthy, right? I mean, his income is a slight advantage on income right now, but Zest losing 2 aces, his 2 newest sources of income, potentially. It is just 6 infestors. It is Hydras. I think he recognizes the carrier count is not so high that he needs Corruptors. But look, 3 more just popped. 3 carriers just popped here. +3 air weapons is coming in because Chrono Boost is good. And the Disruptors. I don't know that the Archons are what we need to be worried about here, but maybe. Sure. Dark taking this right side base, killing a few probes that dare to long distance mine from this location. A single DT is going to come in and wipe this out. I kind of like this. Like, what are the odds you have an Overseer over here? What are the odds you have Overseers at all? Okay, there's one. There's 1 Overseer today for Dark. Forces a cancel on the hatch. Kills this drone. All right. Ooh, Dark Templar paid for himself there. Neural Parasite on the way. Can Dark do this with no Spire Tech at all? And just Hydras and Vipers and Infestors? Maybe. I guess there's Lurkers too for important ground damage, which again, this is not pure Sky Toss. Pure Sky Toss is actually not that good. But you do want the recall? Why? Where? Oh, the Mothership recall to the bottom right. But guess who has all the Infestors here already, though? So Fungal gets tossed down. The Mothership probably going to die. That's usually how this works. Yep, abducting the Mothership. Blinding Cloud being used. The Mothership dies. Spores getting some really nice hits off on these Interceptors. The Interceptor count is only 43 right now. Storm on the Hydras as they approach. Okay, Zest playing this really well. DT takes out a Lurker. Do you want to neural a couple of these carriers? Getting in too close means he gets stormed. Interceptor count keeps dropping, man. 39 Interceptors now. Okay, so Dark hangs on to this base. He has lost some drones today. He's lost 60 of them. He's also killed 14 probes. He didn't kill this, or didn't lose this hatch, which is super, really important. And Microbial Shroud. I keep forgetting it's a spell what exists. I'm telling you, we never see it. But when we have seen it, it's been okay. It's not terrible. It's just not so good that we see it all the time. If it was obviously incredible, then every Zerg player on Earth would use it against Sky Toss every time, and they don't. It's better, it's generally better to have a bunch of Corruptors out, right? Some Broodlords to whittle away at these ground units. But Corruptors, enough Corruptors to like swing in and one-shot a carrier, right? But at the same time, if you have some of, you know... Man, these Zealots, though. Nicely done. I'm gonna say, but at the same time... I don't know. Are the Infestors scarier than the Corruptors are? I kind of feel like they are a little bit. Zest kind of sneaking up this way, but, you know, Dark's in this area fairly well. High Templar going down, getting some nice storms off, but they seem to be all dead now. 19 drones died? Where the heck did we just lose 19 drones? What? No, really? Did he try to... What? Oh, he tried long distance mining up here. Ah, okay. Well, an Oracle's on the way. We're working on... Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah. So all of these drones, the ones that are actively transferring through a war zone, Archon just waiting for them to get off the bus so they can murder them. Yeah, okay. Yep, that explains a lot. Interceptor count 61, healthier than it was. Dark wants this base. Both Dark and Zest want this base. Not really happening. I mean, Dark needs to expand. He has mined out of 3 of his bases. He's got a couple that are running right now. Zest mining out of this 12 o'clock that he's had for some time. The right side base is happy, but not forever. Yeah, I really think it comes down to who can hold these 2 bases. If Dark can hold 1 and Zest can hold 1, I think Zest wins. If Dark can hold 2, I think Dark wins. And if Zest can hold 2, Zest wins. So I think it comes down to, can Dark keep that 1 base up scenario on the Protoss when it comes to these 2 expansions on the sides or not? And he's like, come on, Dark, expand up here. We won't absolutely kill you instantly or anything. Run, drone. Oh, this lurker. Remember how it has 2 kills and one of them the Nexus? Fare thee well, lurker. We miss you. We miss you quite a bit. Dark's at 40,000 resources lost. Zest is at 37,000 though. Tempests are on the way, right? Tempests here to whittle away at some of the spore crawler forest that is in different locations on the map right now. Especially if you get the tectonic destabilizers upgrade. Festas, lurkers. Another lurker interested in killing an entire building by himself, which is not easy to do. Not easy at all. Yeah, man, it just... No one can take this base on the left side. The right side feels also fairly difficult, but the creep's up here to the point that we can actually throw down a spore crawler forest and make it easier to defend. Okay, so Zest says, alright, you staked your claim on the right side. Let's take the left base, because again, if I can have this base and you get this one, then I feel like Zest's chances of winning are really high. Look at this Zealot. It's just pouncing on these lurkers, though. Yeah, getting that surround action. That's how you do it. If Zealot can get a surround on anything, they're going to be great. Not always easy to get a surround, though. Turns out. Alright, so maybe we're taking this base. Tempest firing away at Overlords. Boom, 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 ba-da-bum, bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Tectonic destabilizers on the way. Right side base from Dark. Coming up. I think they just murdered an Oracle. No? Killed something. Assimilation successful with something and brought it into the spores. Man, abducting a High Templar would be pretty good. There's 150 gas. Abducting a carrier into this ball would be amazing too, but Zest is being so careful. He's always so careful with his units, man. He's just... Very rarely does Zest lose a game because he overcommits to something or extends too far. It's always cautious. It's always careful. And it works out more often than not in these late games. The revelations are coming hot and heavy. Dark's right side base is popping. But Zest is here too. So again, if income is even, that's better for the Protoss. Generally. Also, with Tectonic Destabilizers, that allows the Tempest to do bonus damage versus buildings they attack. So they do more damage. Ooh, Storm Drop kills 2 drones. Ooh, High Templar dies for it. And Warp Prism with speed manages to sneak to the scary location. And recall somewhere else, I don't actually know. Interesting lurker run by attempt here, but like DTs though? Yeah. Yeah, so mined out. 12 o'clock, mined out right side very soon. Dark still has this thing, but again, shiny mineral patches mean they're going away quickly. And yeah, we can tell that here. So we both have 1 base. I think there are fresher mineral patches on the right side than we have on the left side, but not by a whole lot. I really don't think that this base is going to mine out much more quickly than the right side one is. It's going to come down to cost efficiency, as it usually does in StarCraft. Like, sometimes you can just out-macro your opponent to death, and being cost efficient doesn't mean anything. But a lot of the time, it's who makes the better trades, right? Who kills more for less? Zest can't abandon his left side post to handle this. Oh, he did, though. Look at him recall all the way over here. That means this is vulnerable to something. How do you break that? I don't know. We're more worried about the fact that Zest's army is now over here. Yeah, I guess there were some minerals there and some gas. About 300, not a ton. Alright, Oracle dies, which is good because it really forces Zest to make a new one. You can kill other stuff in Zest's army. He's not immediately going to have to replace it. Oracles, yes. Lurkers are trying to get in here. Ah, they're burrowing, they're diving, they're burrowing, they're diving. They're trying to connect upon these disruptors generally. They're going to Microbial Shroud, which doesn't do anything for Storm, but is really, really good against incoming air attacks, reducing air attacks by 50%, I think. So the Tempest damage is decreased, the Interceptor carrier is decreased. Just tossing down fungals here. Oh, abduct, subduct, abduct. Carrier down. Mothership down. Really needs to die. And Microbial Shroud not really covering right now, but killing a lot of the Interceptors nevertheless. And again, the more Interceptors you kill, the better it is for you in the long run, because without Interceptors, carriers are useless, right? Oh, Vestra gets sniped as it tries to get up, but it was blocked by the Hydralisks. Trying to protect it here. Zest is pushing right now. The Hydras don't have any more Microbial Shroud. No, these Hydras running into their Zest. The Lurkers on the ground. The Spores trying to get some work. The bad rally on the Hydras is making me just clutch my head in just absolute panic right now. Couple carriers die. The abducts are insanely good. But no Microbial Shroud means these Hydras are taking way too much damage, although only 5 Interceptors. Oh my gosh. Is the are the carriers useless? Oh no. Do you have to dump all of your minerals that you're getting over here into carrier Interceptors? It sure seems like it. Production tab is nothing but, okay, there's a Warp Prism and some Interceptors right now. So Dark King's onto this base. It is... I mean, please don't consume this base to death. Please, thank you. Zealots coming through. Thank you very much. Killing some dead stuff. I mean, this is getting an epic tag just by sheer amount of... We're at 37 minutes. And I don't know who's going to win this thing. I really don't. Every Interceptor that dies is so important right now. We're back up to 39 Interceptors, which is nice. He needs to stop donating Hydras. He's got to fix these rallies if he's going to win this game. He has just been absolutely wandering Hydras into this group 2 and 3 at a time for the last 2 or 3 minutes, and it's not going to work out for him. Dark has decided, I don't really want to engage directly with this army. It seems like a bad time. This is just, but we know how this works. You do this, and then the Protoss Skytoss army just recalls home. Or, you know, I guess walks back home. This isn't a giant map for that purpose. Hydras. Did you not bring detection with you? This one Dark Templar, the Storm. Yeah, nope. I think Zest has this thing. We are backed into a corner. Hydras are just not enough without Microbial Shroud. Storms. GG. Zest is your winner in 38 minutes and 26 seconds. Yeah, called it. Called that one. It's so hard. It is so hard to make Hydralisk, Microbial Shroud, Neural Parasite, Viper stuff work against this Skytoss compositional army, right? It's super, super hard to do. And yeah, not even Dark can make it work today. Income just, you know, creeping up to regular, average here for both players, which is bad for the Zerg, actually into Zest's side of the map. Killing the Interceptors was great, but Zest had that income on the left side, which was enough to allow him to rebuild those Interceptors and make the carriers worth it again. If you can kill those Interceptors when there's just no income for the Protoss at all, you're golden, but that is a pretty strict requirement for that working. 5 hatcheries killed, 3 Nexuses went down, 22 Infestors, which is, I don't know if we got enough value from them for 22 dying. 22 High Templar died, which did we get enough value from them? With the feedbacks and the storms we saw today, maybe. Can't disagree with that. 82 drones died, 15 probes died. That's a massive discrepancy too. And yeah, end of the day, Zest, just careful, never overextending, threatening where he needs to, understanding the math of how many bases he needs to win once we got to that 30-minute mark, allowing Dark to kind of take that right side one as long as he could establish the left side one, and then just, you know, intercepting and sniping down Infestors. They were the big force multipliers in Dark's army, and once it was just Hydra and Viper, never going to work against carriers, not in these numbers, not with these upgrades. So really, again, fantastically patient, extremely well done from Zest. I really don't have many critiques of his game. He's just real solid. Like, he's not unbeatable, obviously, but man, he is just really solid all of the time. You should be a fan of Zest if you're a Protoss fan. I'm just saying, put him on your list. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and an epic match here from TSL 7. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.